Oh yeah, this is where the lovin' starts today, here on a magnificent Monday in that Coyote Way, wouldn't you say? Isn't it odd? But baby, as we sit here and look across the San Luis Valley and see the sunshine capping on those San Juan Peak Mountains over there, man, oh my goodness. We know there's a real sunrise going on, a dawn of a new awakening, spreading across humanity right along with this grand sunrise, you betcha. We're all coming back to life today in a very unusual sort of way, because our attitude today will be gratitude in everything we play, everything we do, all that we say, everything is gratitude. That's our attitude, man. And it's not just because of the sunrise that helps us see it far more clearly than we ever did before, dear, but it's because we got happy hearts hanging around here everywhere. Enough to keep the sunshine shining and another day dawning, babies. Yes, indeed, in that Coyote Way. Maybe it's like that movie, you know, Lost Angels there, with Tom Hanks and all that, way back in the way back when, and, you know, the angels were lost for a while, but maybe they're standing there in the sunrise today and absorbing up a new kind of energy and bringing forward then a new reality, a new dream. See, that's what transformation's all about, see. It's about awakening. It's about coming back to life. It's about seeing the magic and the mystery in life and seeing it as your history, rather than that droll and dismal thing that you take as a history now. What a sourpuss thing that is, eh? Hey, listen, now, I got my 50th class reunion, high school class reunion coming up over in this little town in Utah where I kind of grew up. Oh, my God. I think I didn't start growing up till I got out of there. But anyway, long story short, you know, it's all about, you know, letting go of that past and being okay with yourself at last, you see. And those kind of things just kick up those kind of memories in me, you know, when I get an invitation and something like that. I think, my God, it's been 50 years, and there's been a lot of casualties here, and I'm looking at it and saying, oh, my God, you know. And I mean, even in my hometown right now, I've got people listening in where I was like a social outcast when I left there, man. And I vowed never to return, but, oh, of course, that was childish things. I was a little PO'd at the reality around me at the time. You know, let's just say it took several years to get over it, you know. But the thing that always brings me back there is the bright sunrise, always over those Wasatch Mountains. It's just as gorgeous and spectacular as anything you get here. And then some. I love that place, and I love those people too, man. You know, I may not ever, you know, band myself to live in there again because I just am not in agreement with the general culture over there, but shit, I love it. And those folks got a right to live the way they want to live and be what they want to be, and shit, I love them for it, man, you know. Most of all, I love them for sticking around long enough for a few of us to have a 50th class reunion. But it just reminds me that it's all about letting go of the past and being okay with who you are now, right now, at last. See, that's the whole thing. Because we've had a lot of tragedy and triumph heaped on us through these ages and generations, let alone this lifetime here, where we seasoned ourselves into it rather quickly, didn't we? For a lot of us, it's been kind of a harsh ride, man. Really, a buckaroo rodeo and then some, man. A wild bull ride that nearly took off your hide because it was so, ooh, and bone-jarring, too, man. You know, I mean, we get slammed around a lot here, man. But have you noticed how it's been evening out in recent times? You know, the shit is not dying. I mean, the shit is dying down, not flaring up, you know. It's going away, you know. It's just like this mighty sunrise is the sunrise surprise that everybody on this earth's been waiting for. We've been holding our breath for what, a couple, 3 generations now? Because we knew it was really close, man, you know. And those of my generation and subsequent, you know, that have been around for a few days or just got here, we know it too, man. We were born with that awareness of awakening. We knew we could outlive the mother truckers. That they couldn't take us down no matter what they heaped our way. And boy, they heaped a lot. You know, I mean, for some of us anyway. Some people got it a little easier than others, but nobody got it easy. Nobody. It's a strong ride, man. It takes a strong heart to get through any kind of human life here, whether you only live to age 2 or 2 minutes or 200 years. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get there. Whatever time's appointed to you, and you fulfill yourself in it, and by golly, in the terms of the divine dreaming heart that we live in, it's perfect. Because you made it through. See, now in advance sometimes, you might have cosmic memories of this. I see us sitting in kind of a room somewhere, like a spaceship or something, and we're looking out these portholes, but they're not really portholes, they're these gigantic windows, but they see into the life we're going to live. And we're there with several of our companions that often are with us in many lives, similar spirits, similar souls, basically from the same general familyage, the same expansion of love in your generation, etc., So there's a familiarity between us, and we kind of pick it up and take it from there. But it becomes far more than staying alive. It becomes love in motion. We see the wave of time and our ride upon it. And we start to appreciate it in a deep and grateful sort of way. And baby, it changes things on a bright and magnificent Monday. We start to see clear what's really going on here. And we can let go of the drama as much as we like it. As much as we like wallowing around in it and hating each other for it and shit like that, man. There's a whole lot of love behind that hatred, man. You guys, we're just characters in a play when we're doing it that way. But there's nothing wrong with that. We got to get that experience under our belt, too. It's hip. It's crazy, but it's hip. It's like that one little song I play quite often with my little station break on it. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Crazy love. And it is, too. But crazy in the coolest sort of way. That's right bad to the bone, but in every bit of it. As genuine and as real and as caring as life can be. Believe it or not, you've been treated gently. No matter how harsh it's been here, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. We all know that. We see it around us all the time. So reward yourself for your ability to take it, if nothing else. Let alone give it, And if you gave too much of it, well, take it back and relax and don't hate anybody anymore. How can you? I mean, we each have our own personal journey here to deal with, but we're all in it together, man. And any human weakness is borne up by all humans who are weak until they find their strength in the heart. Shit, that's what this is all about, man. Overcoming the sense of powerlessness. The journey we've taken, it's like, wow. It's like we're little kids, but we're old enough to, to get in the saddle and ride and so forth. We're little cow kids, let's say, just for the sake of storytelling here for a moment. And, it's our turn to break and train our first horse. We're around 8 years old or so, So we've got this colt that's been running around the range down there in your uncle's ranch in Arizona. It has no intention of ever being saddled or bridled or anything like that. It knows the free breeze of 50 gazillion acres to play on. And it's not going to be, it don't even like being pastured up as much as it loves green grass, man. It still feels the desert in its heart and the wild nature of it and some of the poisonous plants and animals there, too. It knows the ropes, man. It's been around. It's a wise little thing. But by golly, you're going to take it on, and it's not a challenge. It's a change, and you really got to learn something here. At first, you're looking around you and everybody's telling you got to dominate the animal. That's the cowboy way. You ride it out of them, Well, you're not quite up to that just yet. But you're taking this thing by the halter, and it'll come right up to you in the field. You got it gentled down that far. It loves you. So you got a connection. You're starting to recognize something about you and the animals you didn't see before, that there is a connection there. I'll call it an awakening to natural horsemanship, if you will. It's learning to flow in the nature of the animal and to let that animal work with you, not against you or for you, but both of you moving forward in this life as a unified being, with a singular intention in mind, whatever that might be, going to California, whatever, As long as you're together in it. See, that's the nature of life. And that's the lesson I started learning from horse way back then, or as little cow kids did. We took that one, we got it halter broke fairly easy, And we can lead it around. And we didn't do the lunge thing because we're cowboys. We don't know how to do that kind of shit, you know. We just get on them and ride. Well, like I said, just wasn't quite there yet. It's like, you know, a little shy of that. Because I knew how broken bones would feel, and I really, quite frankly, didn't want to get on them till I was sure I wasn't going to get any of that. So me and the animal, we just after school, and when I had a few minutes here and there, because you're working on the farm all the time, you know. But when you got a few minutes, you're hanging out, and pretty soon it's like a dog, you know, and you're talking to each other, you know, the same way you would a dog, you know, sitting there in the manger. Well, it munches down on oats and some really nice alfalfa. Boy, we grow some good feed out there, don't we? Well, anyway, long story short, you become friends with that animal, you know, and the day comes when you're going to ride them, and there's no buckaroo rodeo here. Because you've already established the uniformity between you, see? It takes patience to live this way, and sometimes you got to flow against nature and get the shit kicked out of you before you really understand that. You know, the natural flow, the natural way, when you and the earth around you, just like you and the horse, can learn to play together as one heart, one intention in motion, born, of course, of love. Anything that comes from the heart is pure love, and guess what? All of creation comes from it, including you and that divine little animal you ride. You see, now it's not just taking a little ride on the animal and going to chase cows or whatever anymore, now is it? It's a partnership, it's a unity, it's a reunion. It's a recognizing the natural way which lives just a little beyond this one. You see it in the animal kingdom all over the place. Flocks of birds that can fly in synchronicity, herds of buffalo, same way, on the ground, etc. Uniform activity, a sign of a greater intelligence, of a flow of life. Yet you deny seeing it. You say that's something scientific. That ain't, you know, that ain't magic, you know. You deny your own sense of creation, even when your own creation's reflecting it back to you in such divine and beautiful ways. I don't know how many of you watched a gorgeous flock of blackbirds and starlings flying across the sky, thousands and thousands of them. But it's an incredible thing to see such synchronicity in flight. You know, I mean, they can blacken the sky with their numbers and not run into each other and just wave all over the place like a singular wave. It's pretty incredible. And then when they do finally settle down, they got this big old flocking thing going on. They do it certain times of the year. And there'll be 10 billion of them in the trees around you. And you never heard such a chorus of song in your life. A lot of people find it irritating. I find it a blessing. I love the sound of the blackbirds singing well into the night. And then even before the morning light, they'll start up again, man. They're pretty incredible. It's a great feeling, and you take it as a blessing when you receive it. Again, the natural thing. You're tuning in to the nature of life. And you're understanding the vibrations of it, the feelings of it. See, that's how we communicate with life. And in fact, that's how we create. It's through this feeling heart that is sensitive enough to share these moments with you. And you're sensitive enough, maybe even in hindsight. Maybe it's a few years down the road before you really start to get it. But you get it. You remember those moments like they're right now. And you begin to remember what the natural way is, something that's been hidden from you inside, veiled, and placed in denial by kind of a scientific or a religious or political attitude of one sort or another, maybe even an atheistic bent, whatever. I mean, who could believe in a severe God like that anyway? Screw that. You know what I mean? It's living in the heart. It's living in the rhythm of life, see? And this is what the animals around us are here to teach to us. And the nature of the plant kingdom and everything beyond that as well. I mean, I just sit here and look out my window, man, and it's just amazing to be alive and living, especially in such a beautiful place. And I hope you feel as blessed wherever you are, even if it might be by others considered dismal. To you, it's a palace. That's the way I feel about my little spaceship love here. It's kind of like, this is really palatial, even though, you know, by contemporary standards, it's little and it's cramped. But, hey, there's nothing like, you know, being able to roll out of bed and get on your computer and go right to work now, is there, man? Shit, that beats hell out of commuting in, 20 feet of snow and then blowing and drifting snow. Ooh, yeah, baby. See, when it snows up here, I just sit here and watch it, man. I got foodstuffs in the house. I'll be all right. I love it. See, this is the natural attitude again, tuning into the nature of going with the flow of whatever's going on around you and adapting to it in by whatever means are possible. You treat yourself, in other words, as comfortably in this life as you can. And the more comfortably you get it, the more comfortable it becomes, because you start to have some real gratitude for it. And the heart can just, bam, explode, expand and grow. That's the Coyote medicine. It's the Coyote way. It's the human being sort of way, too. It's the way we're being, man. It's through our hearts and the flaming awareness of the natural way, the truth of that, the living truth. And there's proof of it within us and all around us all the frickin' time. You don't have to take anybody's word for it. It's something you feel. And when you're sensitive and you've had all this experience, whatever time you've had here already, you've got plenty of it, haven't you? It's just about remembering how it really is and how it got to be magic at times when you could live in that flow. When you could understand your horse or your dog or your kitty cat or your pet snake or whatever, your albino alligator, as we like to say. We got albino alligator living down the way from here. I'll tell you the longer story sometime. But it's seeing that natural communion, that natural heart. And talk about training an animal. Well, this is the secret that a horse whisperer or somebody like that knows. The natural flow, the natural way. And so instead of bucking against it and trying to ride it out of an animal and dominate it, you go with the flow. And when that animal's ready, well, it's a partnership. It's a union. How many of you remember that old movie? What was that? It was a Francis Ford Coppola. Goodness gracious. Black Stallion. There was hardly any dialogue in the whole movie. A kid stranded on an island and a black stallion stranded there too, shipwrecked. But both of them made it to shore alive, And as the years pass by, they develop a partnership, a union. It's a living demonstration on celluloid film, or digital nowadays, but whatever. It's a painting on a canvas, a reminder of the natural way. So I highly recommend that motion picture if you've got to watch movies these days in order to feel it right. I get a lot from them, so I watch one here and there, but most of it, it's hard to take. But this one's great. You'll love it. Black Stallion, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who makes some mighty fine wine down there in that Sonoma country, don't you know? I'll tell you what, he knows how to direct the grapes into the cask just right. I think his wine sells for $5,000 a bottle, but just the same, he still was a greatly artistic film director of fame and rapport, of course, but, awesome work there, Another one I really like, I think he did this one. No, that's somebody else. That was an Italian guy, wasn't it? Well, I don't know, but anyway, that Zeffirelli, that's who I'm thinking of. Zeffirelli did that Romeo and Juliet back in the 60s, late 60s. Another little gem to chew on sometime when you're tired of popcorn and boredom, man. Check that one out. I'm sure they were both on YouTube or Netflix or someplace, So. But Black Stallion especially. Oh, my goodness. It keeps us in the flow. It's what Romeo and Juliet didn't understand, didn't know, yet they had it. So both of these films I mentioned are like living demonstrations of the natural way and of our aberrant behavior in it until we finally get it. See, that's what it's all about. And when we get it, it's transformed. Just like the sunrise brings clarity, the sunrise in your heart the same way. That's what we're living for today. Will affect every moment in which life we play, whatever life it is, even today, right now. In the end, how? Because all of them are alive here now. See, but we're not burdened by it. That past is a blast that shot us forward to right here, right now. And we got every opportunity now to have it the way we want it. For real. That's the deal here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Just getting your day underway on a magnificent Monday. Grandpa Coyote, a whole bunch of sweet angels of all kinds, different forms and formats. Squirrels, monkeys, antelopes, chimpanzees, angels of the heart, angels of grand nature, man. Just all kinds of salt and pepper here, man, in the way of cosmic assistance. It's here for you too, baby. If it's in me, it's in you. If it's all around us, well, that must be the reality we're living in, eh? Hey, let's make it even more magnificent Monday as we get this sunrise underway. Wouldn't you say? Oh, goodness gracious. Clink again all the way around, guys. Oh, we love you so. What an expansive day. Whew, wow. Bright and beautiful one, too, man. Wow. And how? The Hazy Radio Network. We got it on in the morning with Grandpa Pedro, Coyote, and friends, including you, you angelic little thing. Oh, my God. What? Look at you, Sparkle, man. Oh, how can you outshine me like that? Way to go, Buffalo. You done it just right.